Hey everyone, it's Tim Parker and
Rick Rickard.
here with you this afternoon. We have been looking forward all day to come to the live stream to share some information, updates about Israel, about our most recent trip to Switzerland, France, and Germany.
Correct.
Had a great time, and then hopefully answer any questions that you guys might have. So why don't we just jump into it first with updates on Israel. I know Rick has some exciting news to share about airlines and several different things. So
we've been posting this week, so you might have already seen if you follow us on Facebook and on social media itself. United Airlines is actually starting service back on March the 2nd.
That's great.
So that's just a few days away. And then following that, that will be their nonstop flight Newark to Tel Aviv. And then after that, May 1st, Delta will start their nonstop flights from JFK to Tel Aviv as well. So that's exciting news for North American air carriers starting business and flights back to Israel. So
yeah, been waiting on that for a long time. That's
been a long time coming.
Yeah, going to hopefully get us some great movement with tours getting back over there. So.
Well, speaking of tours, we've got Dr. John Delancey. He's going to be doing some live feed on his trip that's coming up as well. It's a 17-day trip to Egypt, Jordan, and Israel. And I believe his trip goes out on March the 8th. So he's got a full bus, and he'll be sharing with you as well live just about every day, every other day while he's over there. So you can see that firsthand. And then we have our Israel Solidarity fam trip for clergy that's going April 1st. That's just the day after Easter. And so what a better time to be traveling to Israel than right after Easter.
Yeah, how great is that?
It is pretty cool.
Have a few people signed up, quite a few people signed up already for it. So looking for some more pastors who are either have their tour already set and want to go over and be able to have conversation whenever they come back with their passengers on how things look over there. How the safety was, just the weather, the conditions, all of those things.
They're going to have a chance firsthand just to experience Israel and see it for themselves. We were just there. Now it's been 3 weeks since we were last there, and I can tell you from our experience, things were normal, at least the new normal in regards to things, but not again to take anything away or light of what's happened in Gaza. And that's still taking place right now, but it's highly, highly contained. And as you probably are already seeing in the news, so forth, it looks like there's even a possible ceasefire, could be even later this week, which would be very exciting. I know that they want to do it before Ramadan. So if that happens, that would be also wonderful news. But even more so, we just want the hostages returned safely.
Yeah. So lots of exciting stuff that's going on over there. A lot of information that's been coming in. So we wanted to share those details with you. But the Solidarity tour that is going off April 1st through the 9th. If you are a pastor that either has a tour scheduled or you are looking to schedule a tour, there's some very cool things that we've been able to do with costs that are involved with that. So we can discuss that some more with you if you'd love to call into the office at 863-709-9208, or if you want to go to the website.
www.ittworld.com, or you can email us at sales@ittworld.com as well. For pastors, ordained pastors and so forth, for the land-only package for the 9 days, it's $695 per person, and spouses a little bit more. And that's including gratuities. Airfare is not included, and that's breakfast and dinner daily. So we're excited about that. And then we are now announcing that we have another Israel Solidarity tour, which will be May 28th through June 6th. And so that's going to be a 10-day trip. We also have airfare that we're able to offer, which is on Air Canada from Chicago, and they've got some great flights as well. So we're going to do a very similar trip to what we're doing April 1, but we'll be offering it also for May 28th. We had quite a few people who expressed interest, but they couldn't do the April dates. So we decided almost 2 months later would be a little bit better.
Yeah. So some great times to be over there, actually. I mean, even
Weather's gorgeous.
yeah, the weather's going to be amazing both of those times. So I'm kind of a little jealous that I don't get to go on the April trip. So
No, but you
great
will be
people.
on the May trip. So plan on it.
We've got some great people from the office that are going. I'm going to leave that maybe for a little bit later, but you guys will be excited to hear who you're going to get to meet from the office. We do have a question. Did you have some more information you wanted to share before
No,
we
let's go to
on?
questions.
Okay. So we did have a question from Wildwood Community Church. Just said, what areas of Israel are available to tour right now? Can you go to Dan, Caesarea Philippi, Golan Heights, Bethlehem? So
let's jump right into it. Bethlehem, you can definitely visit. That's not a problem. Jericho, you can visit. Currently, they're still restricting any groups traveling up to the far north, which would be the Caesarea Philippi, Tel Dan, and the Golan Heights, the Good Fence. We're going to wait a little bit longer. We believe that come May, they should be able to. But as of right now, that's not an option. Yeah. Security is still our top priority. I would like to think that within 6 to 8 weeks, that should change.
Yeah, so that's great news.
The rest of the Galilee, you can visit all of the sites. Things are normal in that regards, and they're open. So that is definitely doable. I have been in contact also with our Israel offices, those in Tel Aviv area and those in Jerusalem. And they've been sharing also that groups have been arriving almost daily or every other day. So travel has resumed back to Israel. I know that in spite of the media, people are still a little leery, and we totally understand that. But keep in mind that it is open. You can travel. And for those, that aren't necessarily familiar with Israel, not only is it probably the safest time to travel right now, where security is heightened and they've put things in place to make sure that you are safe. More so, you have no crowds. You're not going to be fighting any crowds.
Yeah.
And that, if you want to even talk about just when we were at the Church of Nativity in Bethlehem, what that was like.
Yeah, I've the ability to move around in there without the crowds that are typically there was pretty amazing. The time that you and I were able to spend in the grotto was unheard of. I mean, normally you have time to go down, take a photo, spend a very brief moment, and then you're moved through just because the numbers are so large trying to move through that grotto. We spent 15 minutes down there just
uninterrupted.
Yeah, just having conversation. In fact, we could have stayed longer than that. It was time for us to move to go have to meet with some friends. So,
and also the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. The same holds true. There were no crowds. I mean, there's people there. You will see groups and so forth. But normal times, prior to October 7th, normally you could be there waiting 30, 45 minutes, even over an hour just to be able to get in. And we were able to walk right in and take as much time as we wanted to, which was, quite nice, selfishly speaking, but it's much nicer to see groups there.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I don't know, so talking to people out there, do we have any opportunity beyond setting tours up for next year? Do you have space available that
if people wanted to jump on this year? Yeah, we actually do. We have groups that are still going. I know this is probably what maybe most people aren't familiar with, is we have groups that are going just about every single month from here on out. So Dr. John Delancey is traveling next month, literally in a week. And then after that, we have groups that are going every single from April, May, June, July onward. So even if you're an individual or a couple and you're like, I'd like to be able to go, or your trip was scheduled and either it needed to be rescheduled for next year, or maybe you canceled and then maybe you're now realizing you might want to reconsider and either being reinstated or would like to be transferred or jump onto another trip, please contact us. We'll be happy to work with you because we'd love to see you travel.
Yeah. So we've had tours that were towards the end of last year have been rescheduled and moved to around a year out. So if you're looking for around the end of this year, then we have that ability for you to even possibly set up a group.
Oh, absolutely. You could still go even if you wanted to go this September or late October or November. or even the first week or so of December. And then surprisingly, we have a lot of groups that are going right after Christmas. So that's also a wonderful time period, especially for those in education and so forth like that want to take advantage of Christmas break. That's a beautiful time, December 26th, 27th, 28th, to be able to travel.
Yeah. And it's not too early to set up for next year at any point. I was working with a tour host earlier today that is scheduling their trip for the first part of December in 25. Definitely not too early to begin that.
No, please. If you're even considering putting a trip together, now is actually the time to contact us. There's probably never been a better time, but all the way through, realistically, the end of January or beginning of February of 2026, we're able to book out tours right now. Yeah. So that's pretty incredible as well.
Yeah. So don't wait. And of course, we do many other destinations than Israel. So Greece has been
Footsteps of Paul has been our number 2. No disrespect to that, but it's always been a highly regarded and high demand. But of course, due to the situations in Israel, Greece has become even a higher demand along with Italy. Both of those, Italy and Greece, are incredible destinations, have so much culture, history, early Christianity. It just reaffirms why we believe what we do and appreciate what they did before us to make it easier.
Yeah. So we have 10-day Footsteps of Paul tours that include 3-night or 4-night cruises.
Yep.
Those cruises typically are going over to Ephesus, Kushadashi, and then back into Patmos, and then you visit several islands coming back into Athens, correct?
Yeah, Mykonos, Santorini, sometimes Crete, things like that. And I think that's one of the questions we get asked too is, can people actually travel to Turkey? Turkey is completely safe. We have groups that are going to Turkey literally this week. We have other groups that are going next month as well and onward. Turkey has not been affected. So you can travel to Turkey, quite so. The people are amazing. So I would highly encourage you to do so, whether it's you wanted to do Greece or Italy or Turkey, things like that. And then as we started off, you mentioned, we just returned this last Thursday from visiting Switzerland, going to France and going to Germany on a Reformation tour. And that was really incredible. It was a great group of people. Quite a few different denominations were represented. And you want to share anything about that?
Yeah, no, that was, so back in 2017, I just want to jump back a little ways. We had the 500th anniversary of the Lutheran, of Martin Luther, the 95 Theses that he nailed to the door at the Castle Church in Wittenberg. Yeah. So that was a great time of visiting that and understanding what that time and history looked like. This year we opened up into more reformers. So
correct.
We visited some sites that were John Calvin, Zwingli, John Knox, Hughes. There were, just amazing stories.
Incredible.
Yeah, amazing stories of what these men accomplished and the different things that they did. We even had one of our passengers jokingly talked about that as they were leaving, that they were told their people, "Hey, pray for me, I may come back reformed."
Yes.
And then they said, not understanding that what they were going to find out really made them understand what happened there. The preconceived ideas about the Reformation or the reformers themselves didn't really play out to what they had originally thought.
At all.
Yeah.
It was completely different than I think they envisioned. That was one of the questions we asked is, did we meet your expectations, or what were your expectations? And, being that some of them were not Lutherans and some of them were other denominations, they came back and said, I was highly impressed. I learned a great deal. It gave me a greater appreciation for my faith, understanding what it is to be reformed and why the whole protestation actually took place. And even for some, it's why do we even call ourselves a Protestant?
Yeah.
and the appreciation for it as well. And it has nothing to do with not loving the Catholic Church and appreciating them as well, but understanding just the significance of why it is that we don't have to do indulgences or anything like that. So it was quite incredible. And we're going to be offering another one of those trips this November. So if you're a clergy and you would love to experience a Reformation tour firsthand, contact us as well. November, I think it's the
11th.
November the 11th.
Yep.
So do contact us if you want to join us. It's going to be another great trip, and it will be the same of what we just did, starting with Switzerland, then continuing on through France, and then we'll end in Germany. And it's quite impactful.
Yeah.
So I'd highly encourage you in that regard as well.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, we were in landed in Geneva, spent a day in Geneva. We were in Zurich the next day. Had some sites that we visited in between, which were additions that Matthias, our guide that was on the trip, was able to add. It was amazing. We ended up in Strasbourg, and then leaving France into Germany. We were at Eisenach, Erfurt, Worms, visited Wartburg Castle, the Castle Church in Wittenberg, and then we ended up in Berlin, which was a really great time for Matthias to share stories about his time growing up in East Germany.
Yeah,
which is just amazing to hear that. You and I have heard those several times, but
it's remarkable.
Yeah,
things that we take so for granted.
Yeah.
So, is there other questions that came up in regarding Israel?
Yeah, it looks like from Stephen, I think it says, has the price changed for trips there that are already booked? Ours is the first week of December.
Your pricing has not changed at all. Your pricing is the same. If you were rescheduling a trip later, then you might be impacted with a higher airfare. But if you're already booked on a tour where the tour dates were the original ones that just moved over, and they were still scheduled to go at this time, there would not be an increase. If it's a rescheduled trip, then you would see a small increase, and most of that increase is the airfare with the airlines and the air taxes.
Yeah. So no change in cost if the trip is already booked. In fact, even whenever we had to move the tours and postpone those tours, those trip costs for those that were paid in full didn't change.
There was no increase at all.
Yeah. So we were able to hold those prices for the people that are already paid in full.
Correct.
And to be honest with you, minimal cost increase for having to move those as well.
Yes.
To new dates. So thanks for the question. Plenty of time for questions. If you guys have anything, feel free to post those questions. So in addition to Reformation, where else are we going?
Well, we're doing, if you haven't checked out our website, ittworld.com, river cruises. That's definitely something to consider if you want to do something that's a little bit more relaxing. Most of them include either a 7-night or an 8-night cruise. The beauty of a river cruise is each day, or even sometimes in the afternoon, depending on if the ship is moving. First, there's no seasickness. It's flat, so you don't have to worry about that. Second, you're at a different destination. So just to give you an example, you could be in the morning right after breakfast visiting Germany, and then later after lunch, you could be doing something in France. And so surprisingly, on the other side of the river, you could be in Switzerland. So, needless to say, it's quite interesting in that sense. But we've got quite a few different programs that we're offering. So definitely check them out. We have groups that are going. I'm going to be going. You're actually going to be traveling as well. The end of April, beginning of May, we're actually going and doing a tulips river cruise.
Yeah.
So we've got a group that's also going, and then we have a group of pastors that's going as well.
Yeah. So we think these trips are going to be great for those pastors who want to put time together and spend quality time with their congregations. We have a friend of ours that's traveling, and they have a ministry, and they feel like that's going to be a great trip for relationship building.
Absolutely.
For them, for their ministry.
Correct.
So these are, and you can add. There's several stops that we have that you can add the Reformation piece on that if you want to. Some of it's going to be just the beauty of the countries that you're visiting.
Correct.
In fact, whenever Rick told me that this one was the tulip cruise. I said, is that because of Calvin? And he said, no, it's because of the flowers.
The flowers.
So,
So it's completely different, but we do have, like, if you do the Elbe River Cruise, that would be one that actually starts in Berlin, and you'll do Wittenberg, and you'll do Strasbourg, and you'll have a chance to do some of the other sites as well going along. Some of the things that we just experienced firsthand, Heidelberg, things like that.
Yeah.
And then including also Zurich and Lake Lucerne and things. Those incredible cities. So there's so much more to it. Also we had the experience when we were just on the trip as well, just last week. We had a chance to be reminded that the Anabaptists are celebrating, I believe it's the 500-year anniversary, and that's going to be next May. So that's pretty exciting to see, and that'll take place in Zurich. So there's a lot of exciting things that are happening, in addition to, of course, going to Israel.
Yeah, we've even got the United Kingdom, right?
Yep.
England. And,
we've got Scotland and the UK and things like that. And you can even do a pre or post trip to Ireland as well. And again, we've got many opportunities and options and trips for you, depending on what you're wanting to do.
Yeah. So
more questions.
It looks like we've answered both of those.
Okay.
So been,
if you want to transfer to a different trip, yes, you're welcome to do that as well. That's always an option if that's something you're wanting to do. Do contact our office and we'll work with you to make that happen. Or if you're on a trip to Israel and you wanted to see about the possibility of going to a different destination that we have trips going to, you're welcome to transfer to those as well. So we are here to work with you, whatever's best for you.
Yeah, as we talked about last week, I think the question come up was whether they still didn't want to travel, was the only option to lose your deposit. And that's never the only option.
No.
Like as you were just saying, we always offer different opportunities for you to either join another group that's traveling later in the year,
Yep.
or if you decide that you don't want to go to the destination you are booked for, we have other destinations that you can join those trips that are going there.
I think you just said it perfectly.
Yeah.
You have plenty of options. First and biggest step is just contacting us and asking us, what can I do if you have any questions or concerns? We're here to serve you. So let us know.
That's great. So have anything else you want to share?
I can't think of anything right now. I know that we'll be doing this again, hopefully in a week, and we'll give you some more updates. Hopefully we might even delay it a day or two, depending on the updates that we receive from Dr. John Delancey with his trip. But if not, we'll follow up and do something even the week after. So I think we got another question that just came up.
Speak about what's required to be a trip coordinator. So really, to be honest with you, to be a tour host, so we have guides who are set up who take care of pretty much every aspect of it while you are in country. So the only thing that's required is for you to have a heart for this, to want to share this with the people that you have relationship with and influence over. So really the only thing is picking dates. Toughest part of it, right? Picking dates.
First and foremost, the most important thing you can do is choose the destination that you want to travel to and your travel dates. And then, contact us so we can not only answer your questions, but set a tour up for you and really your promotions, what's responsible. We have a tour host guide book that really will lay out all the things to know, what to do and how to host. And if you're interested, just contact us and we'll get you that information. So we have it as a PDF form that we can send to you, and also a booklet form that's printed.
Sure. Yeah, if you were someone who had 7 couples, 10 couples who wanted to travel overseas to see Israel or Germany or France, Switzerland, any of those things, you could put a tour together.
You could easily.
Yes. So
and we'll take care of all the other details, literally all the way down to your wake-up calls at your hotels.
Yes.
So
that's pretty cool.
It is pretty simple.
Yeah.
We're into the details. We're a logistics company, and that's what we do.
Yeah. So everything's taken care of for you. You shouldn't need to worry about anything other than the promotion piece of that. So,
yeah.
So thanks for that question, Earl. Bill Marinelli. Wow. Bill was just overseas with us on this last the trip to Switzerland, France, and Germany.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Bill. Thanks for traveling.
We had a great time with you, Bill.
Yeah. So great to meet your family, your wife. It's been a while since you've been traveling with us for a while and not had a chance to meet Pam, and it was great to meet her and Eric. So thank you for doing that. Caleb Oliver. What is the minimum number of passengers needed to be a group?
Depending on the destination, we can technically, with the airlines, the requirement is a minimum of 10 or more from the same departure city. So as long as you have 10 departing on the same day from the same departure city, that would be considered a group.
Yep.
In regards to being able to do small groups, we can do small groups to Israel, to Italy, and to Greece, and also to Turkey without any issues, and Egypt as well, and Jordan, with as few as 12. It's easier if you can get to 16. That's really when the hotels start acknowledging some of the group pricing. So 16 is kind of the magic number. So if there's 8 couples or something like that, that's ideal. And then most of our groups that you'll see on our brochures will be a minimum of 20 plus. Is where the optimal pricing begins.
Great. Yeah.
So,
and of course, Bill's trying to be a wise guy, saying you guys do travel, right? So
it's our first rodeo.
So, well, we appreciate all of you signing in to watch the updates on Israel, to hear us talk about the amazing places that we've been able to visit.
Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah.
We greatly appreciate it. We know you're busy, but we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to work with you. Hopefully you're getting our emails and our updates and some of our specials that are coming out. So please look for them.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions at all, contact us, info@ittworld.com or sales@ittworld.com. And is there another question? We see that there's a group that's going, I believe, is it December of 2024? Yes, there's space if you'd like to join and go on that trip as well. They're doing Israel, and they're saying we've got space if anybody's interested. They're going right after Christmas. I believe it's December 26th. And so if you're interested in going right after Christmas, they have space available to Israel.
Yeah. Michael Hardy is asking, I heard the Garden Tomb was closed because of lack of tourism. Has it opened yet?
It is. It's open.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, no, we were able to visit that site while we were there. Now it may be something to where when your group is headed that way, headed to the actual Garden Tomb, they would kind of open the gate at that point and allow the group to come in. Again, that was another site that we were able to go to, which is normally a very busy site, and you and I
pretty much almost had it private to ourselves. There was maybe about another small group of about 8 or 10, and then there was a few individuals that were there as well at the time when we were there. And then just as we were leaving, we saw a group of about 24 that were coming as well. The Garden Tomb is not open on Sundays. And during this time period, since October 7th, they also did close, I believe it was either Saturday or Monday. So there were 2 days back to back that they were closed, but Sunday is definitely one of the days that they are closed. And then it's either Saturday or Monday as well. As tourism returns, they get back into a normal, regular schedule.
Yeah, I think that, and the way that I understood it as well was if there was a group that really wanted to travel there, they were probably going to open up for that group to be able to visit.
Correct. They would do it just any day but Sunday.
Yeah. So great question there. So, all right. Well, we're about 31, a little almost 32 minutes into this. We could, to be honest with you, we had more questions. We'd probably sit on here all day, wouldn't we?
Yeah, it's what we enjoy doing.
So yeah, call us at the office number 863-709-9208, or you can email to sales@ittworld.com. Get your questions in here. We have a great team here. I don't think anybody would say that we have anybody that they don't like to talk to. So
no, we got an excellent team.
Yeah.
Everybody's still here. We haven't made any changes, and we see tourism is finally returning and increasing. and we're very excited about the future. So thank you for sticking with us.
Yes.
We greatly appreciate it.
Look forward to bringing you guys some more updates, doing some more lives next week, and look forward to your questions. Look forward to traveling with you guys soon. So take care and God bless.
Oh, yep, hold on. We got one more.
I would just offer this info. Was in Egypt and Jordan, January, completely open and truly safe. If you'd like to go there, do so. Yeah. Thank you, Gail.
Thank you, Gail. That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
So Gail was just recently in Egypt and Jordan this past January, just a month ago. And as she stated, it was just completely open and truly safe. Egypt has not been impacted, nor has Jordan at this time. They have stayed open and are completely safe. And we've had groups that have traveled there. So, and if you need references, we're happy to provide them.
So thank you for that, Gail.
Very kind of you.
Yeah. So, well, until next week, I guess we're going to sign off. So take care. God bless and catch up with you next week.
Thank you for your time.
God bless.